Okay, so let's jump right in.
Let's do it.
We're going to unpack, well, I mean, one of the most critical rule books in the world, the fundamental architecture of Indian governance.
And for this deep dive, we're pulling straight from the foundational concepts in Indian Polity, 8th edition,
Mm-hmm.
a truly comprehensive source.
Right. And our mission here isn't just to skim the surface, is it?
Not the goal is to give you that non-negotiable understanding. And, for anyone concerned with high-stakes knowledge, we have to start with the practical side.
The exams.
The exams, exactly. The data on this is just so clear. In the UPSC General Studies Prelims, you see these huge spikes. I think it was, 22 questions in 2017?
And 19 in 2024. So this is not just theoretical.
No, this is essential knowledge you really have to master.
Absolutely. And that necessity is matched by the sheer authority of the source material, which is really where our journey begins.
It is. I mean, this isn't just quoting academics, like Granville Austin.
It's more than that.
Oh, way more. It's synthesizing information directly from the Ministry of Home Affairs, the Election Commission, NITI Aayog, even the Supreme Court of India.
So it's a massive, almost official synthesis of information.
That's a great way to put it. And that breadth is exactly why the subject was officially renamed back in 2011 to Indian Polity and Governance.
Ah, so that and governance part is key.
It's everything. It tells you right away that we're covering so much more than just the initial constitution. We're tracking its evolution.
The challenges of its federal structure, the separation of powers.
And all those thorny, critical issues, governance, public policy, rights. I mean, in a democracy of 1.4 billion people.
So that's the huge landscape. Let's zoom in on the absolute foundation. If this is an architecture, what's the cornerstone?
Well, it starts with the word constitution itself. It's from the Latin constituere, which basically just means to establish or to set up.
To establish.
Right. It's the supreme law of the state, the ultimate framework. It establishes the institutions, it defines their powers, and it outlines the entire relationship between the government and the governed.
Okay, but hold on. If the Constitution gives the government power, how can the same document also limit it? That feels a bit like a paradox, doesn't it?
And that's it. That is the aha moment you need to grasp.
Yeah.
That limitation. That is what we call constitutionalism.
Okay.
It's the philosophical difference,
Yeah.
between just having a constitution on paper and actually operating under constitutionalism. Scholars like Friedrich and Ruchek, they really emphasize this. It demands a limited government and the rule of law.
So it's the guardrail. It stands in direct opposition to any form of, well, arbitrary or totalitarian rule. It means even the most powerful entity that the document creates still has to operate within the constraints of that document.
Exactly. Power is conferred, but it is simultaneously restrained.
Okay, so how did India approach this?
Now, if we look at India's specific architectural choice through that classic political science lens, we find something pretty unique. It is, without a doubt, an enacted and a written constitution, much like the American model.
Right, but the U.S. system is famously rigid. It takes a constitutional earthquake to change anything fundamental. Is India's system just as inflexible?
No. And that's really the genius of the framing. India's constitution is a deliberate synthesis of both.
Of rigid and flexible.
Precisely. Certain federal clauses are intentionally rigid to protect the state structure, but other parts are highly flexible. This means it can simultaneously uphold the rule of law while adapting quickly to massive social changes.
Like creating entirely new states or amending certain rights.
Exactly. And that blending is what causes all the academic debate. You hear those colorful, critical descriptions.
Right, like quasi-federal from Casey Ware. And I've heard others call it a bag of borrowings. Is that a fair label? It sounds a bit dismissive.
It is entirely dismissive. I mean, yes, the framers purposefully drew provisions from all known constitutions, from Canadian federalism to Irish directive principles, but they didn't just copy.
They adapted.
They modified every single provision to suit India's unique needs. They engineered a pragmatic hybrid structure precisely because they knew a purely rigid or a purely flexible approach just wouldn't work for such a massive, diverse nation.
So we've established the serious scholarly groundwork, the high stakes this knowledge demands, and the deep intellectual concept behind limited government.
That's the core of it.
So here's the thought to leave you with. We see how India chose this unique hybrid path, neither purely rigid nor purely flexible. What profound real-world tensions might continually arise when operating a vast democracy based on a single binding document that intentionally tries to blend those two opposing constitutional philosophies. That's the ultimate question this structure forces us to consider.